It's never too late to start. Find activities you enjoy. Guys, today we will dive into such an important topic that affects all of us as we get older, and that is muscle loss. Specifically, I'm going to talk about how and why we start losing muscle after we turn 30, how much muscle we lose, what we can do to prevent that loss, and the benefits of maintaining your muscle. First off, it's important to know that as we age, you guys, our bodies goes through natural changes. One of these changes is the gradual loss of muscle mass known as sarcopenia. So after we turn 30, majority of us lose about 3 to 8% of muscle mass every decade. And I know that you might probably think, oh my God, like that's not a lot, right? It's only 3 to 8%. Come on. But think about it. Over the years, it adds up. And this can lead to decreased strength, mobility, and overall just making everyday tasks more challenging. Now, I want to talk and expand a little bit about and discuss why this actually happens, because there's few key reasons and I want to talk about them. So number one, hormonal changes. As we age, your levels of hormones like testosterone and growth hormone decreases, and these hormones plays huge role in maintaining your lean muscle mass. Reason number two is decreased activity. Like many people, when they get older, they just become less physically active, and that contributes to muscle loss. How many of you have heard, or maybe you're one of those people who say, oh, like, when I was 25, 30, losing weight was so much easier, but now I'm 40, 50 plus, and it just seems impossible to lose weight. And anything I eat just being stored as fat, and I'm just gaining weight out of nowhere, right? I need you to remember one thing and understand this. A lot of people that I even talk to on a daily basis, they just simply become more sedentary as they get older. When we were younger, we were just running around, we were more active, we were playing sports, we were just generally speaking way more active. But when we get older, we become parents, we become really busy with just life, and we tend to forget about taking care of our bodies, going to the gym, maintaining solid workout routines. So that's not necessarily just the age. Oh, I'm getting older. It's just the age, because when you get older, you put on weight and losing weight becomes almost impossible. No, one of the reasons is that you become less physically active. And I'm going to touch on that in a little bit more. Reason number three, why this is happening and why we tend to lose more muscle once we turn 30 is also your nutrition. A lot of people don't eat enough protein. I cannot tell you how many times we have started working with clients whose protein intake was like around 40 grams a day, while they should be eating probably like 3 or 4 times more usually. You guys, it's essential to have enough protein in your diet. How many grams of protein do you eat on a daily basis? I would want to literally know what is your average intake when it comes to your protein. I want to talk about it a little bit more because that's super important. Protein is crucial for muscle repair and growth. Protein helps you to stay full, just feel full and more satisfied. And it also supports your overall health. On top of that, people also lack essential nutrients that impact muscle health and contributes to muscle loss. And that's why we tend to lose more muscle. Now, I want to talk about how we can prevent muscle loss. And here is a few tips that I have for you. So tip number one is strength training. Surprise, surprise. I want you to think about the strength training as the pillar of your exercise routine. I want you to start focusing on resistance training, resistant exercises. Let's do at least 2 to 3 workouts a week. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go and load up your calendar with 5 workouts a week if you're currently doing nothing. That would not work. You would burn out. I want you to focus on weightlifting over cardio, okay? Weightlifting at the gym or at home. There needs to be some sort of exercises that you do on a weekly basis consistently, whether it's going to the gym and lift heavy weights or using machines because maybe you don't feel comfortable doing or using free weights at the gym because you're not that experienced. But you can also do body weight exercises at home, right? If you don't like to go to the gym, that's fine. Don't look at it as an excuse why you cannot be exercising because there's so many workouts and ideas and programs that you can just even go on YouTube. You guys, this is how I've learned exercising. Like 12 years ago or 10, I don't even know, when I started working out, this is how I've learned. Like I watched YouTube videos on proper forums, how to do certain exercises. And that's literally how I've learned how to exercise. So there's no excuse for anyone, right? Number 2 tip. Again, we're back to a protein. I've already mentioned that, but I'm going to say it again. It's so important. I want you to make sure that you are including protein-rich foods like lean meats, fish, dairy, beans, and legumes also have proteins into your diet, right? Aim for 0.7 to 1 per pound of your body weight. Now, if you are really overweight, if you're, let's say, 100 pounds overweight, so let's say you're 300 pounds and your weight goal is 200 pounds. I want you to take the 200 because that's your goal body weight and multiply it by 0.7 to 1, depending on your activity level. But you can easily start on the lower number, so 0.7 times 200, and that's how much protein you should be eating on a daily basis. Now, when you track your food, let's say you're going to use an online calculator or tracking app like MyFitnessPal just to figure out where is your current protein intake. You're going to track your food for 7 days straight without changing anything. And then once you look at your number and see like, okay, on average, I'm averaging 50 grams of protein, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's the number, then you want to slowly up your protein. So don't go straight to like, if your goal is 150, don't go from 50 to 150, but progressively increase your protein intake. So maybe the first week go and eat 70 grams, then the next week up it to 80 and slowly get to your goal of, let's say, 150 grams, depending on what those calculations look like for you. I hope that makes sense and I hope it was helpful. So your target or ideal body weight in pounds multiply by 0.7 to 1. Again, if you are weightlifting 5 times a week, you're really active, you can use the 1. If you're less active, older, you can take 0.7 and multiply it by your weight in pounds. Number 3 is staying active. Now, I'm not talking just about strength training. I'm literally talking about staying active. Find activities you enjoy, whether it's swimming, whether it's hiking or cycling. Just keep moving to help maintain your muscle. So important. Don't become a couch potato as you get older. You don't want that. Keep moving. Go for walks. Get a dog and go for walks with your dog. Just keep moving your body. Number 4 tip is also stretching and flexibility. Guys, working on these things is so important. As we get older, we just become more stiff. Like how many times you get up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, like my leg hurts, my back hurts, I just feel kind of like in pain, right? Then when we get older, that's how we start feeling. And I know it from not only myself, I've been dealing with a lower back pain for the last few months and it's annoying. And I'm only 35 right now. but I've never had issues before. And I'm noticing that as I'm getting older, there's more and more that I need to pay attention to when it comes to my health, overall stretching, going for massages, going to my physio. Like these things are things that I actually never really paid attention to in the past, to be honest with you. But now I have to. So don't forget that. I ideally suggest you to do like a 5 minute stretch first thing in the morning. Get up 5 minutes earlier, go on YouTube and search for 5 minutes morning stretching routine. Easy. There is so many, it's not even funny. We are lucky enough that we have these resources. We do have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, where we can watch these videos for free. You don't even have to pay anyone to do that. So please do that. There are also apps that you can download on your phone and use it for morning stretches routine. I have one and I use it every morning. And I wasn't probably like a year ago. I started because I was like, oh my goodness, like waking up first thing in the morning becoming hard. I feel stiff. So I do stretch every morning and I highly, highly, highly suggest you to do the same thing. Tip number 5 is sleep. I cannot stress enough how important sleep is. Remember that recovery happens during sleep. So I want you to focus on getting at least 7 to 9 hours of quality rest every single night. It's going to make such a huge difference. You're going to come to me back in a few weeks/months once you start focusing on sleep, and you'll be like, Martina, you were right. I feel so much better. Tip number 6 is hydration. Drink enough water. Guys, dehydration can very negatively affect your overall performance and recovery. One of the things that we teach our clients in our program is start their day with a glass of water, right? Years ago, probably like 6 years ago, I implemented this habit and I am so happy I did, because I would just go to the kitchen and literally just drink my coffee. Like right after I woke up, I drank my coffee. And then I read somewhere, or maybe, I don't know, someone told me, I can't even remember, was like, hey, like, think about it. You sleep 8 hours. For 8 hours, you're not drinking anything. You're waking up dehydrated. Like your body needs water. You get rid of toxins. You just feel more refreshed. It helps with digestion. Like it has so many benefits. And if you drink 500 milliliters, like bigger glass of water first thing in the morning, thank me later. I am telling you, that is one of the best habits, along with my morning routine, that I have implemented years ago. And I am so happy that I did. And we teach this to our clients. So my tip for you to start, if you're not doing that, is go to the kitchen every night and remember to put an empty glass on the countertop. Then when you wake up in the morning, you go to the kitchen and you see the glass and you're like, oh, wow, yeah, drink water, right? Because if you don't build a habit this way, you more likely forget first thing in the morning, especially if you're like one of those people who are always in rush, trying to get out of the door with kids, get them ready, get them lunches done. Like having that glass sitting on the countertop as a little reminder, it will make a huge difference and reminds you, hey, drink water. Please do it. If you will take anything from this podcast, maybe this is one of the tips that I want you to focus on first. And then lastly, I do want to mention that is limiting alcohol and avoid smoking. I'm not going to preach anything to you. I'm not going to tell you don't drink, don't smoke. I mean, smoking is a big no-no for me. I don't personally really drink. If I do, it's like very, very little, like every 6 months or so, and it has to be like special occasion. But remember that alcohol and smoking can impair muscle health. So like I said, moderation is key. It's okay to have a drink or two once in a while, but try to limit your intake. You will feel the difference. You will feel really much better. And Few more tips that I want to share with you, just like on top of everything I've already mentioned, is also start small. You guys, listen, if you're not doing anything right now, whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60 plus, like we have clients who are 60 plus in our program, right? The one thing I can give you as like a good tip is just to start small. Gradually build up your workouts. Remember that consistency is key, which is why I suggest starting with, let's say, those 2 or 3 sessions a week, and then possibly increase to maybe 4, maybe 5. Just don't jump from 0 to 100 all at once, because you're going to fail. It's going to feel so overwhelming for you to literally go from doing nothing to be like, oh, I just listened to Martina's podcast, I should do weightlifting, and you're going to get a membership at the gym. Amazing. I would love that for you so much. But really start small and just gradually build up your workouts, because you don't want to be once waking up feeling extremely sore and in pain. I mean, it will probably happen, but you just don't want to go crazy. You want to also listen to your body. Pay attention to how you feel, because keep in mind that rest is just as important as exercise, and rest days are absolutely crucial, right? You don't want to shoot for 7 workouts a week, because that's not sustainable for most people. And also, being under recovered is not fun. I've learned it the hard way, when I've always in the past thought that more means less, where I've learned that actually less means more sometimes. So right now, are you listening this podcast on August 2024? Maybe September, depends on when the podcast goes out, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to say that right now I'm only exercising like 3 times a week, like strength training. And then I do a little bit of cardio just for the endurance and heart health, but I'm not really overdoing it. And I've learned that less is more. And then lastly, I want to say, if you feel like, hey, I feel anxious going to the gym, I just really don't know where to start, find a friend, right? Find support. Like find someone who's going to do this with you. You guys going to support each other. You're going to motivate each other. And if anything, you can also go to the gym and sign up for group classes, right? Sometimes I do spin classes because I love the feel of the community, and I do it once a week, not necessarily just because of the feeling. Like I do enjoy spin classes, but not like I love them, but I also like the community. So I go for that specific reason. So remember, while muscle loss is natural part of aging, by focusing on strength training, eating enough protein, staying active, and overall just taking care of your health and prioritizing sleep, don't forget about sleep, you can and should maintain your muscle as much as possible and enjoy the benefits that come with it. And one last thing I'm going to say is, it's never too late to start. Whether you are 40, 50, or even older than that, I really hope that this helps you to understand how important this topic is and why maintaining muscle is so essential for your health and overall well-being.